Guys, today I'm filming my Throwback Thursday of my April favorites from 2016. If you guys have never seen one of these videos from me before, I'll have my playlist linked down below. And basically, I'm going to be reviewing all the products I featured in my favorites video from 2 years back to let you know my current thoughts on those products, whether they are still favorites or whether I have replaced some with something I prefer. My inspiration for this series was Kristen Game. I will have her channel and her playlist linked down below. I will also link down below the original favorites video, and I will list and link all the items that I mentioned. And this was a relatively small favorite, so hopefully this will be a relatively quick video. My first favorite was an eye look that I should have mentioned the month before, but I had forgotten, and that is using the Balm in the Balm of Your Hand palette. Now, I did mention this palette in a different look last month, but I forgot to mention it for this look. So I did film an entire palette of the month review video on this, which I will have linked up above. And basically this is the Balm's greatest hits palette. So they have a bunch of different cheek products and eyeshadows from different palettes, as well as a cream blush and a lipstick. It's just a really cool concept. They have come out with 2 of these in total. The most recent one was last holiday season. I didn't pick that up because I had all of the individual cheek products. So for this particular look, it was more of a smoky cranberry mauve look, and 2 of the products I used were actually blushes, and I used them as eyeshadows, which was the first time I'd ever done that, and they performed really well, and I thought they looked very pretty. So the products I used would be the shade Sexy, which is also from the Nude Tude palette on my lid, Cabana Boy blush in my crease, and the Instinct blush in Argyle as a transition color. This is a stunning plum color, and this is a really stunning shimmery plum berry color. It's just a slight shimmer, and this is a really beautiful matte light warm tone pink. I think that these worked amazing as transition and crease, but I also really love these as blushes. Now this shade Sexy here does not have the best formula. It is a lot more on the dry side, especially to the touch. And I didn't really have a problem with Sexy performing well, but that's because I packed it on my lid. I do believe if I really try to put that in my crease or my outer corner, it would look a lot more patchy. I did film a tutorial using this look. If you would like to see that, I'll have it linked above. And I went and watched that video last night, and I didn't really love the look as much. From far away, it looked great, but up close, I just did not love that Sexy eyeshadow on the lid. So this entire look is not a favorite. I love the blushes as blushes as well as shadows, but I wouldn't really recommend the eyeshadow in Sexy, and overall I guess it's not a favorite anymore. My next favorite was a technique, and that was setting my under eyes with a loose setting powder but applying it with a damp beauty sponge instead of a brush. Mine is completely filthy, so forgive me for that, but it's so funny to think that the first time I did this was 2 years ago, and I've done it since. I never use a brush to set my under eye concealer. I only use a sponge, and I really like it. Now, I have noticed with some powders, it can really cake up under the eye. Also, I need to make sure that I clean my sponge very often, because if new powder goes on top of old wet powder, that's when it really tends to look cakey. But I absolutely love that technique, and it doesn't matter the products. Love using a damp beauty sponge and a loose setting powder to set my under eye concealer. That technique is definitely still a favorite. The next thing that I have here is something that I've actually had in my declutter pile, but I haven't given it away yet because there's a part of me that's still wanting to keep it. And this is the Lancome My Parisian blush in the shade number 2 Rose Haussmann. It's a beautiful pink color, even though I don't wear pinks a ton. This is an amazing cream blush. It is similar to the consistency of a Maybelline Dream Bouncy blush, but a lot more creamy than a ColourPop blush, but it's not a wet blush. It's just such a unique formula. This was very expensive, but I bought this when I worked at Belk, and I had a discount and some rewards bucks, so I ended up getting it for about $10, but I just never ever use it. So this is definitely not a favorite because I don't use it at all, but I want to put this in my chopping block so I can test out and see if I want to keep it or not, because I would love to pass this on to a friend if I'm not going to use it, because it is still fresh and it is a nice product. I just don't use cream blushes, and I don't wear pink blushes, so that is not a favorite. Speaking of pink blush, next I have 2 lip and cheek combinations using the Milani Matte Baked Blushes. The first is the Milani Matte Blush in Delizioso Pink, a very bright blue tone pink. I have not used this in a while. I will be using it next month and evaluating whether I want to keep it or not. The formula is amazing. Even though it is a matte, it doesn't look dry in the cheeks. It is very, very pigmented. Such a good formula. I do not usually like baked products at all, but this is nice. So the formula is great, but it's not a favorite anymore because of the color. And I just realized I don't use pink blushes very much at all, only in the spring, and then I still tend to pull for a peach over a pink. So the formula is amazing. I would recommend it if you wear pinks, but I can't really consider it a favorite anymore. And then I was using a pink lip combo. The first part of the combo was the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Primrose. This is a wonderful cream finish. It is a beautiful light blue toned pink that isn't too bright. I think this is supposed to be a dupe for MAC Snob. I've used up one of these lipsticks entirely, repurchased it. This is holy grail to me. And then over top of it, I was using a NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Merengue, which is a brighter and lighter blue tone pink that did expire on me. And I will in the future repurchase it because the butter glosses are some of my favorite formula. They give a light medium opacity. They're super creamy on the lips, not sticky at all. I love them on their own or as a topper. So the lip combo is definitely still a favorite, but I can't quite consider the blush a favorite any longer. And I did film a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me using the pink Milani blush and lip combo a while back, but I'll link it up here in case you're interested. And then my second blush combo is definitely a little bit more bright and daring when it comes to color. For blush, I was using the Milani Matte Baked Blush in Bella Rosa. This is a red blush. Again, an amazing formula. It's a beautiful shade. Obviously, I go with a light hand. I also haven't used this in ages, so I will be focusing on it next month and making sure I really want to keep this in my collection. The formula is amazing, and I used to wear it a lot. I just don't wear it a ton anymore. But again, if you like that color, it's amazing. And then on my lips, I actually combined it with my MAC Sheen Supreme Lipstick in Asian Flower. You guys know how much I love this. It's an amazing formula, super creamy, long-lasting on the lips, even though it isn't a matte finish, a beautiful lavender shade. So this is a holy grail item to me, and as I said, I like the formula of the blush, but I just don't reach for it a ton. I did also film a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me using those two products in combination, so I'll have it linked up here as well in case you want to see how they all look together. And then I had another lip product, and that would be the ColourPop Lippie Stick in the shade Westie. It is a matte finish. This was originally released as part of a collection, but I'm not sure if this is still available or not, but I will let you know. It is a light, bright, dusty pink, and I wore this recently and I was like, whoo, that is too bright. I don't remember it being that bright. And that's because I tended to wear it over a lip liner, which is actually how I'm wearing it today. And the lip liner I paired it over was Bound, and this is my perfect warm mauve lip liner, and this is a dupe for MAC's Whirl, except I feel like Whirl is so brown, but I guess that's more the lipstick. Anyway, I lined my lips, feathered it in a little bit, and then went over top with Westie, and that's my lip combo today. And I love this color so much better that way because it tones it down, makes it a little bit more dusty instead of being so bright, because I don't really love very bright pinks. And I do love the matte formula of the ColourPop Lippie Sticks, but it does feel kind of thick and a little heavy on my lips. I prefer the matte X finish, but I do still enjoy the matte. So this one is still a favorite, but when it's in combination with this lip liner is when I like the color best. And my last item is a nail polish. This is OPI You're Such a Budapest. This is a amazing purple periwinkle shade, and that's because to me right now in my face this looks purple, but all the time in pictures it shows up blue. So I have a really hard time capturing the accurate color of this polish, but it is stunning. It does take 3 coats to be opaque, which happens to me with a lot of OPIs, but I don't mind because it's an easy application, unlike Essie's where they tend to be very streaky. On me, very easy to apply and fully opaque in 3 coats. One of my holy grail polishes of all time, my favorite purple, my favorite go-to for spring. So this one is definitely still a favorite and I highly recommend it. So guys, that was my Throwback Thursday of my April favorites from 2016. I would love to know your thoughts on these products in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.